Have you ever wondered why some people can achieve extraordinary success without ever boasting or talking too much about their plans? Could they be keeping a secret that we've never considered? The simple answer: silence is power. While we are always eager to share our goals and seek recognition from others, keeping big plans private might be the real secret to success. This article will reveal why acting quietly and remaining silent can create stronger motivation and help you achieve results without needing to explain or justify yourself. You'll be surprised to realize that some things shouldn't be said. And silence might just be your most powerful weapon in life. Silence is the key to success. Success is a long process that requires time and space to grow. Like a seed planted underground, it does not announce its presence or demand attention. The seed quietly germinates and develops under the care of the soil and natural elements. We do not see the changes immediately. But when the plant grows and reaches the surface, everyone starts to notice its strength. Success in life is the same. It does not need to be publicized or require recognition from the start. What's important is that you need silence and time to grow. However, in modern society, many people feel the need to talk about their plans, goals, and dreams. They continuously share their actions and future hopes with friends, colleagues, or on social media. This is a natural human need to seek recognition and praise from others. Especially when we have a big goal, we want to share it with everyone to receive encouragement and support. However, this can be a big mistake. When you talk too much about your plans and dreams, you easily create an illusion of progress. People will praise you, clap, and encourage you. And these acknowledgements can make you feel like you've already achieved part of your success. However, this can cause you to lose the actual determination and motivation to fulfill your goals. The happiness and satisfaction from recognition might make you delay taking the necessary actions. You might feel content with the compliments and feel you no longer need to do more. Sharing your plans too early can cause a huge distraction. Every time you talk about your intentions, you are releasing part of the energy needed to complete your goal. But that energy gets dispersed. Instead of using that energy for real action, you use it to explain, justify, and seek recognition from others. This will reduce the internal motivation and make it easier for you to fall into procrastination. Every time you share, you are giving away some of the drive that you need to move forward. There are many people with great ideas and strong ambitions, but they end up destroying their own plans by sharing them too early. They expose their dreams to the cold winds of doubt, criticism, and distraction before they are strong enough to withstand the challenges of the outside world. These plans and dreams are easily criticized and questioned, and instead of continuing to nurture and grow, they lose momentum and eventually, their dream dies silently in the cradle of good intentions. To achieve real success, it's important to keep your plans and dreams private in the beginning. Instead of talking about it with everyone, you should keep it to yourself or share it only with trusted individuals who can help you grow and protect your vision. This is not about keeping secrets, but about understanding that in the early stages, you need protection and focus to build a strong foundation. When you create a safe and quiet space, you can nurture your dream without being distracted by outside factors. Remember, actions are more important than words. Success does not come from talking about your plans, but from what you actually do. When you remain silent and focus on the work, you are investing in real action, rather than just talking about what you will do. And when the results come, these results will be the strongest proof of your efforts and determination. At that point, you won't need to say much about what you've done because the results will speak for themselves. Success is not an easy journey, and it needs time to develop. Don't rush to share your dreams when they are still fragile. Let those dreams grow silently. And when they are strong enough, you won't need to talk much. The final results will be the strongest affirmation of your ability and perseverance. Sharing too early can decrease motivation. Sharing your plans and goals with others is a natural thing that most people do when starting a new project or dream. The excitement of sharing your idea with friends or colleagues is part of the process of seeking recognition and encouragement. People around you will usually praise, motivate, and even clap for you. Those positive responses bring a great feeling, making you feel like you've already made significant progress, as if success is near. However, this can be a big trap when you share your plans too early. What happens is that you start to feel recognized by others, even though you haven't actually done anything. The feeling of being acknowledged makes you feel happy, as if you've already achieved part of your goal. And that satisfaction will reduce the urgency and real motivation to act. This can lead to procrastination. Why is that? Simply because when you receive encouragement from others, you easily think you've already made some progress, even though you have only talked about your idea without taking concrete action. Imagine a simple example: you decide to start a new business. You're excited to share your plan with friends and colleagues, and they all praise you for this great idea. They cheer you on, encourage you, and suddenly you feel like you've had a good start. But in reality, you've only talked about the idea and haven't actually started working. That recognition isn't the real result of your work. It's just a response to an idea that hasn't been acted on yet. However, inside, the satisfaction from that recognition makes you tend to delay the next step: actual action. The problem here is the confusion between recognition and achievement. When you share your plans too early, you might confuse the acknowledgement from others with real accomplishment. You feel like you've made some progress, but in fact, you're still at the starting point and haven't really begun the work. This creates a cycle: the more you talk, the more recognition you get, and the less you do real work. You might think you've achieved part of the work, but in reality, you've only just started. This explains why many people have big ideas but fail to turn them into reality. They often share their ideas with others too early, and when they haven't actually started working, they feel like they've already received recognition and praise. As a result, they lose the urgency and motivation to continue. These people might halt their plans because they feel they have enough after receiving compliments without actually doing anything. Another example is in relationships. When you share your plans with others without following through, the praise and encouragement can make you feel like you've already done part of the work. This creates a false sense of comfort and reduces your motivation to continue. Initial encouragement is important, but it cannot replace hard work and real effort. True success doesn't come from compliments but from executing your plan and seeing results from your effort. So, how do you avoid making this mistake? The answer is to keep your plans private and share them only with people who truly trust you and can help you develop them. Don't rush to boast about what you will do, but quietly work and let the results speak for themselves. You'll be surprised at how powerful focus and motivation are when you don't let the recognition from others influence your actions. When you work silently, not seeking praise or acknowledgement, you'll have more energy and drive to continue moving forward. Remember, true success doesn't come from talking about your plans, but from executing them. The results will be the clearest proof of your efforts. Let your actions speak for themselves and show the world what you've accomplished, not what you said you would do. The benefits of keeping your plans secret. When pursuing a goal or embarking on a major project, keeping your plan secret in the early stages can offer surprising benefits. Whether in your work, personal life, or big dreams, you'll find that sharing too early can weaken the power of your plan and your motivation. One simple reason is that when your plan is not yet mature, it is vulnerable to doubt and criticism from others. Moreover, keeping your plan secret allows you to maintain focus and avoid being distracted by unwanted opinions. When you share your idea too early, you may unintentionally cause others to doubt or misunderstand your goal. This can lead to receiving inappropriate advice or negative reactions. People may not understand the importance or the development process of your plan. They might criticize or question your ability, even if they mean no harm. However, these comments can affect your confidence and motivation. If you are not careful, these doubts may creep into your thoughts and cause you to question your own plan. Keeping your plan secret in the early stages is not about hiding it, it's about protecting your vision. Like a gardener who protects a young seedling from frost and cold winds, you need to keep your plan safe in a quiet space where it can develop solidly. If you share it too early when it is still fragile, you may diminish its strength before it even has a chance to begin. When you share your plan only with trusted people, such as mentors or close friends, people who understand you and will support you, you will have the best protection for your vision. These people will not only encourage you but also help you stay confident in your goal when you encounter difficulties. They will provide sincere advice to help you avoid mistakes and make necessary adjustments along the way. However, it's important to share with people who can genuinely help you develop and protect your vision, not just those who want to offer feedback or criticism. One important reason for keeping your plan secret is that you can develop it without facing unnecessary criticism. During the process, your plan may require changes and adjustments. If you've already shared your plan, you will have to explain and justify those changes, which can feel exhausting and stressful. By keeping your plan private, you don't have to explain anything to anyone. You can freely adjust your plan according to the actual circumstances without worrying about how others will view it. Moreover, when you keep your plan in silence and focus on the work, you create a private space to develop it without being affected by outside noise. This focus allows you to build a solid foundation and take the right steps, instead of being swept away by the opinions and encouragement of others. When you don't seek recognition or approval from others, you will feel freer in pursuing your goal and focusing on doing the work rather than talking about it. In reality, actions are always stronger than words. When you carry out your plan in silence and wait for the results to form, the results will speak for themselves. When you achieve success, others will notice it without you needing to publicly share every step you took. Real results will be the clearest proof of your effort and ability, and it will boost your confidence to continue pursuing even bigger goals. So, when you have a big goal, learn to keep your plan secret in the early stages. Protect your dream, focus on your work, and let the results speak for themselves. When your plan has matured and is strong enough, you'll see that sharing it with the world will not only bring recognition but will also be a testament to the power of perseverance and sustained effort. The power of focus. In life and work, one of the most crucial factors in determining success is the ability to maintain focus. When you have a clear goal and are determined to pursue it, it is essential to keep your mind from getting distracted. However, in the modern world, where everyone can easily access and offer opinions about your plans and ideas, maintaining focus can become a significant challenge. One of the main reasons many people fail to achieve their goals is that they allow outside distractions to influence them, especially when they reveal their plans too early. When you share your plan with others, you not only receive support but also face questions, suggestions, and sometimes skepticism from those around you. While the purpose of sharing is to receive encouragement and feedback, not all opinions are helpful or necessary, especially in the early stages of a project. Some people may think your plan is too risky or unrealistic, and these thoughts can confuse you. In fact, this skepticism can lead to a loss of focus, making you wonder whether you're on the right track. In reality, when you disclose your idea or plan, you open the door to distractions from people who don't fully understand your goal or process. These responses may not be malicious, but they can cause you to lose confidence in your decisions. Every word, every opinion from others can make you waver, causing you to second-guess the path you are taking. This creates a negative cycle, preventing you from focusing on executing your plan and instead spending time explaining or defending your decisions. One of the most important things to recognize is that focus is a valuable resource, and keeping it undistracted is critical. When you start working without worrying about explaining things to others, you can focus entirely on your work. Focus helps you develop and execute your plan effectively while keeping you on the right track. It's the actual action, not the words, that generates results. When you focus on the task at hand without distractions, you'll make steady progress instead of just talking about what you'll do in the future. Moreover, focus not only helps you progress but also helps you maintain motivation. When you continually put energy into your work, each small step reinforces your determination. Motivation increases when you don't need to spend time explaining or justifying what you're doing. Instead, you gain satisfaction and confidence from completing each small step and seeing your real progress. When you work quietly and concentrate on your goal, you'll feel progress from your efforts, without needing recognition or praise from others. An easy example to understand is in writing a book or completing a creative project. If you constantly share your ideas with others and receive feedback, you may become distracted and fail to finish the work effectively. On the other hand, if you work quietly, focusing all your energy on every word and page, you will create a complete product without worrying about what others think of your work. The real results of those efforts will impress people far more than if you had only talked about it without taking action. Focusing on action and working quietly allows you to maintain control over your plan. You don't have to face criticism or unwanted opinions from outsiders. This creates a safe and quiet space for you to develop your ideas without being disturbed by external factors. You can freely adjust and improve your plan without worrying about what others think. Finally, when you truly achieve results from your work, those accomplishments will speak for themselves. You won't need to explain much about your process because the results will show everything. People will see what you have done and be impressed by the outcome you've achieved, not by what you said you would do. Action will always speak louder than words, and focusing on your work will be the key factor in leading you to success. Results are the best advertisement in the journey to success. One of the most important things we must remember is, true success comes from action, not words. Many of us tend to easily share our plans and goals with others, but few actually take the necessary steps to achieve those goals. Talking about what you plan to do may bring temporary comfort, as you receive encouragement and support from others. However, this does not mean you have achieved success. True achievement does not need to be publicized right from the start. On the contrary, the greatest successes often come from working quietly, diligently, and letting the results speak for themselves. Once you achieve actual results from your hard work and effort, those results will advertise for you without needing any further explanation or announcement. You won't need to talk too much about what you've done or what you will do in the future. Your achievements will create surprise and strong impressions because people will see what you have truly done, not just hear about your promises or intentions. When you don't constantly talk about your plans or what you are going to do, you are creating a space for yourself to grow without being influenced by the expectations or judgments of others. The results you achieve will show everyone that you are truly capable, not just what you have said. And that is the most powerful thing you can do. Let your work and results speak for themselves. We can see this in many areas of life, from work to personal projects. For example, someone decides to start a new business. Instead of publicly sharing every step and intention, this person focuses on the work, creating a quality product or service. Then, when the time is right, their results will speak for themselves. Customers will not only praise the product, but the success of the business will be the strongest evidence of the business owner's ability and perseverance. On the other hand, if this person constantly talks about what they plan to do without actually taking action, even though they might initially receive support, they are unlikely to ever complete their goal. Talking too early can reduce the urgency and motivation to act. Sometimes, you may feel satisfied with receiving praise, and this can cause you to delay taking the next step, leading to failure in completing the project. Therefore, to truly succeed, you should focus on action. Don't spend too much time talking about what you're going to do, but start doing the actual work. Your real results will be the clearest proof of your ability and effort. The achievements you make will speak for themselves and will make others realize that you haven't just been talking but have actually accomplished something significant. Finally, remember that success doesn't need to be broadcasted widely. You don't need to publicly share all your plans right from the start. Let your results speak for themselves because action is always stronger than words. When you achieve your goals, those results will be the greatest motivation for yourself and those around you. True success is not about talking about your dreams, it is about turning those dreams into reality. Act before sharing. When you have a big goal in mind, one of the strongest feelings is the desire to share it with those around you. You may want to receive encouragement, advice, or simply want others to know you're aiming for something great. However, revealing your plans or goals too early may not be the best choice. Act first, and let the results speak for themselves. The primary reason for this is that when you share your goal before you actually start working on it, you are easily distracted by the attention and expectations of others. People will likely offer advice, ideas, or even criticism that you may not be ready to face. These responses can diminish your focus on the actual work. Moreover, they might make you feel pressure to prove something, which can create unnecessary tension. Instead of spending your time working, you might find yourself caught in a cycle of explaining, justifying, and facing differing opinions. Sharing too early can also cause you to lose your initial motivation. When you talk about your plans with others, you will easily receive support or praise. While these words of encouragement make you feel good, they can also lead you to stop and feel like you've already accomplished part of the work, even though you haven't done anything yet. The satisfaction from others' recognition can delay the next action. Therefore, if you want to maintain motivation and keep progressing, it's better to keep your plans private until you have real results. When you act first and wait until you have results, you will feel a strong sense of confidence. Instead of worrying about what others think, you focus on your work and take each step with certainty. This will help you stay away from distractions caused by unnecessary advice or from people who do not fully understand your plans. When you don't seek approval from others, you will trust yourself more and work with greater focus and confidence. One of the greatest benefits of acting before sharing is that you will have the opportunity to develop steadily. You can experiment, adjust, and improve your plans without being hindered by criticism or side opinions. This helps you build a solid foundation and face challenges with confidence. If you share too early, you might feel the need to defend your plan, which can diminish your creativity and flexibility during execution. Moreover, when you have real results, sharing your goal becomes easier and more effective. At that point, you don't need to explain much because the results will speak for themselves. People will see what you've done and appreciate your efforts. Recognition will come from the very outcome you've created, and the pride in what you've achieved will be much stronger than merely talking about your plans. So, when you start a project, a goal, or a dream, keep quiet during the early stages. Let your actions speak for themselves. Take the time to work, persistently pursue your goals, and let the final results be proof of your effort. When you've achieved something significant, that will be the moment to share it with the world and receive the recognition you deserve. The power of motivation in silence. In the pursuit of a goal, motivation is one of the most essential elements. Motivation helps you maintain the energy and persistence to continue moving forward, especially when facing challenges and difficulties. However, not everyone realizes that motivation can grow the strongest in silence. When you act consistently without needing to explain or justify your actions, this silence is not about giving up or halting progress, but about the quiet process of working toward your goal, where you are fully focused on the task at hand without being distracted by external attention. Every small step you take will create momentum for the next one. You don't need to announce each step to the world, as doing so could disrupt your rhythm and cause you to lose focus on actual work. Once you publicly share your plans or actions, you may start to feel like you've accomplished part of the work, even though you're just getting started. This can make you feel satisfied with the recognition from others, which in turn reduces the urgency to complete the task. You might even feel pressured to explain or justify your actions, diminishing the freedom and creativity in the execution process. When you act without explaining, you conserve energy and focus it on real work. This does not mean you cannot seek feedback or help from others, but it means you should only seek assistance from the right people and only when you have made actual progress. This approach helps you stay focused on the action, avoiding unnecessary opinions from those around you. When you act consistently and focus on your task, you will find that each small step not only brings you closer to your larger goal but also builds momentum to continue moving forward. Sharing too early can disrupt your action rhythm. Instead of staying focused on the work, you might start losing concentration on explaining your plan and justifying why you're doing it. Sometimes, skepticism or criticism from others can make you waver and reduce your initial motivation. When you share too much about your plans, you open yourself to distractions from others' reactions, which can cause you to miss opportunities to work more effectively. On the other hand, when you act consistently without needing to explain, you will feel the confidence gradually building from within. Motivation grows stronger when you feel you are making progress, even if it's only small steps. These steps create a continuous cycle of action, with each step reinforcing your resolve and providing a sense of accomplishment. When you don't have to worry about explaining or asking for permission from others, you can fully focus on your work and achieve the best results. Moreover, acting in silence helps protect your plan from unwanted interference. When you share your plan too early, you may face opposition or inappropriate feedback from people who don't fully understand your goal. These opinions can derail your focus and distract you from your initial vision. But when you keep everything quiet and continue acting, you protect your vision and avoid unnecessary distractions. A real-life example can easily be seen in the creative process, such as writing a book or developing a new product. If you share your idea with too many people from the start, you may receive praise but also face criticism or skepticism. Instead, you should focus on the work, continue developing your product, and only share with others when you have tangible results. When you do this, the final outcome will leave a strong impression and be naturally recognized without the need for too many explanations. Therefore, motivation grows strongest when you act without explaining or justifying. Every small step will create momentum for the next. Let the results speak for themselves and avoid sharing too early, as it can reduce motivation and affect your progress. Finally, my advice to you is, act in silence and let the results speak for themselves. Don't let distractions or external opinions reduce your focus and motivation. When you keep your plans private and focus on real work, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Thank you for following this content. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Please leave a comment sharing your thoughts and experiences on your journey to achieving your goals. We look forward to hearing your feedback and would be happy to have you continue with us on the path of personal development.